What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Triple Play Fantasy YouTube channel. We're coming at you again with one of my favorite series on the channel. We're talking about potential breakouts and sleepers for fantasy baseball in 2022. But before we get started with the video, if you guys could please like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel. It means the world to us, just because if you're watching it and you enjoy it, the subscriptions help us be able to get this to more and more people that might enjoy this content. So greatly appreciate your guys' support. Now, let's talk about why I think Alex Cobb could potentially be the next Kevin Gausman and why he could be the next big Giants pitcher to potentially break out in a sense. You already had Ryan Vogelsong. You've had Jake Peavy, Johnny Cueto, Jeff Samardzija, Derek Holland. All these guys have come to the San Francisco Giants organization and have been transformed into a productive pitcher after not being too great at their previous stop. So let's go into why I think Alex Cobb is going to be that next pitcher for the San Francisco Giants. So you can see Alex Cobb last year, obviously, with the Orioles was not great, or when he finished his time with the Orioles, as you'll see on screen. But let's go back to when he was with the Tampa Bay Rays as a rookie. So if you don't remember, from 2011 to 2014, won 35 games to pitch almost 500 innings of 3.27 ERA ball. And his 48 wins over his entire time with the Rays was actually the fifth most in team history. In 2013, though, Alex Cobb was struck by a comebacker from Eric Hosmer that caused him to miss 2 months of that season. But you kind of saw the flashes of his potential with that. You saw his 2.76 ERA was fourth in the majors, and his 72.6% ground ball percentage was first in the majors. And that carried over to 2014, where his 2.87 ERA was sixth best in the American League. However, he didn't get to pitch much in 2015 as he ended up having to get Tommy John surgery and was not productive when he came back in the minimal amount of starts he came for 2016. But once you go into 2017, he looked kind of like the pitcher he was before pre-injury, going 12-10 with a 3.66 ERA in 177 innings. The biggest thing was he had to basically eliminate his split finger fastball because the Tommy John surgery recovery does not usually like you to throw that pitch, so he had to kind of change up how he threw and throw more fastballs and curveballs. However, fast forward to his time then when he goes to the Baltimore Orioles, and it was a disaster. If you look over his 3 seasons, a 7-22 record and 217 innings pitched with a 6.71 ERA and only 148 strikeouts during that time, which is about a 6.1 K per 9. So that poor performance just carried over his time in Baltimore. You also have his blisters, groin and lumbar strains, and eventual hip surgery, which did not help his case. But you saw his home run to fly ball rate in 2019 go up to 60%, which was 9 homers in over 12 innings. It was about 12.1 innings pitched. And then it was still 22% when he actually pitched more in 2020, which was the highest he actually had when he's pitched at least 50 innings in a season in his career. Obviously, Camden Yards was not helping out his case there. But then he goes to the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, which you guys are seeing a lot of his highlights from last season. And he looked kind of close to what we saw when he was beginning his time with the Rays. An 8-3 record, 3.76 ERA over 18 starts. But if you look just besides the record and the ERA, his FIP and xFIP were actually better than his ERA. And his strikeouts actually rose to a career high 9.5 K per 9, as he struck out 98 over 93 in the third innings. The Cobb also ranked in the top 93% among qualified pitchers in chase rate and top 94% in barrel rate. That is insanely good because the barreled balls he only allowed 4.2% of barreled balls in play. So he wasn't giving up many home runs, which actually ended up going down to a career best 0.48 home runs per 9. Third lowest in the entire Major League Baseball season last year of players that pitched at least 90 innings. And he's looked like a totally different pitcher. So why are we excited about him in 2022 with the San Francisco Giants? How can he be any better? Well, Kevin Gausman really turned his career around with them, as the Giants basically said, we need to go simplified. Throw your 2 best pitches and throw them often. So Kevin Gausman upped his splitter and his fastball usage, and they both ended up accumulating about 80 to 90% of his pitches. I expect the same thing to happen here with Alex Cobb, as right now in 2021, he throws a sinker, a split finger, a curveball, and a four-seam fastball, with the sinker and split finger his best pitches, accumulating about 79% of his usage. So with that 79% usage, I'd expect that could bump up to about 80 to 90%, and he could be even better next season with that combined higher usage of his two pitches. I think it's going to unlock a second gear that we haven't even quite seen from him yet. So in conclusion, you have what I expect to be a more intense pitch mix with his two best pitches. You've got Andrew Bailey as his pitching coach there with a great ballpark in San Francisco. They have a history of turning these pitchers' careers around, reclamation projects, if you will. And he's just somebody that at this point right now, he's going about a 288.5 consensus ADP on Fantasy Pros. There's not much risk there. Make sure you grab Alex Cobb. Again, he's somebody that I think is going to get innings for you. He's going to have a good strikeout total, and you're getting him at near pick 300. Sounds like a recipe for a good breakout to me. All right, guys, that's going to be it for this video. Thanks so much for checking this out and tuning into the Triple Play Fantasy YouTube channel. Again, make sure you like and comment if you enjoy these videos or if you want to see me break down somebody else. And please make sure you're subscribed. Every subscription helps, guys. So thank you so much for all that you're doing to support the channel. And we'll talk to you guys in the next one.